Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Minecraft. So, I've had a lot on my mind recently and I was feeling a little bit nostalgic, and I had seen people talking online about figuring out how to play the Legacy Console Edition of Minecraft on PC. And I had a lot of fond memories playing on the Xbox 360 back in the day. So, a friend of mine offered to set it up for me, and he got some of my old worlds working, which is what's going on right here. So I figured we'd probably just pick up where I left off before, when I was a wee lad, and I guess try to beat the game, go to the end and whatnot. Maybe do some farming or mining along the way, perhaps finish this house. So yeah, I'm just hoping to have some chill fun today. Should probably get started on prepping for the nether. when I was a kid, what I liked almost as much, if not probably more than the game itself, Minecraft, and other games like it, were like creepypastas and horror stories and stuff surrounding the games, like Herobrine and Ben Drown and stuff. I was always so obsessed with them as a kid. I would always go looking after them whenever a kid at school or someone would tell me that he found Herobrine in his world. Those good times. Back when you could suspend your disbelief enough, I guess it's less so the suspension of disbelief and more so just kind of being naive. But, it was fun. The world seemed so much more mysterious and stuff back then. That is kind of eerie. I don't even recognize that from I still play a good amount of Java, Minecraft and whatnot every once in a while. Get that 2-week phase going. But I did not recognize that cave sound, I gotta be honest. It's good to go mining just to make sure I'm filled out on gear before going to the nether, I feel. I think it's important so you don't end up stuck with broken armor or something. His head's not around. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, this connects back. Wait, no, there's something else. I'm not sure, actually. It's weird that it doesn't even make a sound when stuff breaks, like tools and whatnot. Yeah, the older caves definitely are not great in comparison to the the ones in the newer Java updates and whatnot. But the nostalgia is still nice. That's a new cave sound too, probably. Or not new, but you know, an older cave sound. Jeez, old water too. Just so slow. Yeah, I can get out this way. Come on. Come on. A lot of spider sounds too. Alright, should be decent on iron. It's around spring break now for some of my friends who are in college. And I spent the past weekend with some of them who had some time off on vacation at the beach, and it was a really fun experience. But coming back from it was kind of like I don't want to say jarring, but like just different. Because like I said, spent the first weekend, a spring break, on vacation with my friends, but now it's like, oh, you get back in the middle of the week, and you're like, what do I do now, you know? There's a well over there. I didn't know they spawned without villages. There's 2 nether portals. Like, relatively close together, too. I mean, I guess if... I think that, from my memory, console Minecraft was a bit buggy when it came to the nether. I remember having a lot of those situations where I ended up with multiple nether portals around. Just realized I've been running around with a bucket of lava that I don't really need, so... just drop this off. Probably here. Okay, well that... Okay, there we go. I'll get some water. I'll get it from the well. Because, you know, it's a well. That's what it's there for. Not much point in just carrying around lava. I just remembered there was a reason I was carrying around the lava, and now I feel foolish. It's for a surprise later. Yeah. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot. But honestly, what's been weighing on my mind more recently is the kind of lack of concern, I guess, if that makes sense. I've had all this stuff I'm worrying about, like money and what I'm gonna do next and whatnot, and, you know, like, being sad that, like, the time where I didn't really have to worry about stuff is behind me, but I felt... The more concerning thing, I guess, is that I felt relatively, like, distant from it recently. Like, I had all of those concerns, and then just kind of suddenly, they're not really there anymore, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but just kind of an empty feeling towards those kind of thoughts. A relatively big shift for me, I guess. I figure there's really no more dancing around it I can do. I've got plenty of food, so I might as well go to the nether. Got good blaze powder somehow. Hello. Okay, so the nether might be a bit buggy. Oop, don't mean to go back. Which I find odd, considering I remember the nether working pretty well. That's so funny. Is that just the overworld? Ugh. I wish there was, like, an Optifine or something. Do cave sounds play in the nether? But I wish I could zoom in on that. That might be a one-time bug. I hope it's a one-time bug. Oh, and it takes us to the other one. That's kind of odd. Because, like, I could see if I, like, placed down a new portal or something and it just linked somewhere else. But I think it's odd that the entrance portal links back to the this other portal. So there. Let's see if this will take me back to the other one. More of the fucking swamp. Okay, so the nether is still here. It's just not, like, rendering, I guess. Oh, that's weird. Just walking through blocks. I'm also having trouble pinning down where this is. I thought I recognized that kind of snowy hill, but the rest of this isn't what I thought it was. Oh shit, I can't see the portal. Oh, okay. I see the particles. So it seems like the nether... Yeah, it's still like this. So the nether appears to be a no-go. Which is unfortunate. It's really odd the way the nether works. Really, I don't know what's up with it. Yeah, it's I think it's kind of weird for a well to be spawning out here without a village around it, but you know. How am I gonna get to the end if I can't play the nether, you know? Might just have to focus on the house for now. So, what are we thinking? Glass? I think glass might be good for this. Thought about trying to make it into a bit of a nicer looking house, but I think the rough around the edges look is good. You know, I don't want to take that away from child Mia's artistic process, you know. My shovel broke, didn't even make a sound. That was really weird. I feel like childhood is often something we retreat into when we're scared or overwhelmed or whatever. But I feel like this particular look back, it feel like I'm losing that nostalgia the more I try to exploit it. Because going into this, I had all these fond memories, but like the more and more I look back at like when I played this game as a kid, the less enjoyment I'm finding in those memories, the more like almost disdain I feel for it. Like, why did I ever care about this, you know? Why did I take joy in this? Kind of. If I don't know. I'm not really making sense right now, but out of coal. Shit. See if so, might have some more coal in the chest. Huh. I don't... Those weren't there. I'm gonna finish what I started, and then we'll go to the end. Free eye. Thinking back on what I said earlier about my memories not feeling so comforting anymore, I guess. Maybe it's better not to dwell on those memories. obviously it's just something kind of ingrained in you, that kind of feeling. But like to want to go back to that kind of simpler time. But ultimately, it's never going to feel the same. You know, it's never going to be the same as playing it as a child. I don't know. Maybe it's better to let those memories kind of just sit where they are. Maybe it's not best to try to dwell on them or go back to them. Because, like, ultimately, it could be the same game in every facet. But I'm not going to look at it with the same eyes I viewed it as a child. I'm just like, it's just not what I care about anymore. And I most likely never will care about it the same again. This attempt to draw comfort from this kind of memory might just ultimately be just a bad move. Maybe it doesn't need a roof. Yeah, it doesn't need one. Let's get this over with. To be completely honest, I think the majority of my thoughts and general topics of discussion throughout this video have been the same attempt as the very basis of this video, of trying to harken back to an old feeling, insecurities, and being afraid of adulthood and the responsibilities that come with it. But ultimately, I don't feel that anymore. Any feelings I had been like worrying about maybe a week ago, they're just gone. And I wanted to sit here and think on them. I wanted to try to reignite those thoughts and those feelings, but I worry that maybe they're best left where they are, simply as memories. I remember being afraid. I remember being confused. I remember being overwhelmed, but ultimately, for better or worse, I am not any of those things. And I may not ever be again. The eyes through which I viewed the world, through all those feelings, are gone. I may never look upon the world in that way again. And I would like to say that that's what scares me, but the concern is that it doesn't. This is it. No, not again. Don't do this to me again. Please. Hey, how's it going? Still no face cam, but I'll put a picture of myself on screen so you don't get lonely. There we go. Isn't he handsome? Anyway, I won't hold you too long. Just wanted to take some time at the end of the video to say a few things. Well, you may have noticed this video pretty prominently features the Everglades, and in particular, Everglades National Park. The National Park Service in the past year has experienced a lot of layoffs and some proposed major budget cuts. So if you have any interest in visiting the Everglades or other locations like it, I would highly encourage you do so, not only to experience the natural beauty they have to offer, but also to show your support for the service. I also just want to say a quick thank you. This video wasn't really my favorite to make, but if you sat through it and watched up until now, it means a lot and I really appreciate it. Now, I'll get out of your hair so that the video can end in time with the music.